Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Teresa Giudice marks new point in her marriage. Housewives star Teresa Giudice and her husband Luis Ruelas celebrated their third wedding anniversary on August 6 with a romantic trip to Spain. Giudice took to Instagram to post a series of pics from the trip featuring her and her hubby posing together with big smiles. "Happy anniversary, my love," she captioned the post. "I know it's been 5 years that we've been together, and today 3 years married." She continued her sweet message, "I just want to tell you how amazing you are in every which way, from being an amazing husband to the best stepdad ever. Thank you for always being my rock through it all and for always having my back." Giudice acknowledged the ups and downs of the relationship while keeping it lovey-dovey. "I know it hasn't been easy, but I just want you to know I see it all and how beautiful you are," she wrote. "I love you with all my heart." Giudice and Ruelas tied the knot in August of 2022, and the event was filmed for a special episode of Housewives Season 13. The lavish ceremony took place at the Park Chateau Estate and Gardens in East Brunswick, New Jersey, a venue Giudice chose for its luxury factor. "I wanted everybody to walk in and be wowed, like, oh my God, this is spectacular," she shared with New Jersey Bride. And that's what they did when they walked in. They were wowed. Also impressive was Giudice's look, complete with sky-high hair topped with a tiara. Giudice was happy to have had her nuptials captured by Bravo's cameras, as she was able to go back and watch the parts she missed. "When we were taking pictures, we missed a lot of the entertainment," she told People. "So I can't wait to see that on TV because we had the burlesque dancers and everybody loved them." Ruelas shared his own post on Instagram celebrating he and Giudice's anniversary. He posted a photo of the two of them cozied up at an outdoor dinner spot, looking as happy as newlyweds. "Happy anniversary to the most loving, supportive woman on the planet," Ruelas wrote in the caption. "Thank you for choosing me, loving me, and making my life so beautiful." He continued, "Every day with you is a gift, and I'll never stop cherishing you. Forever grateful, forever yours. Love you, babe." It's been 2 years since Teresa Giudice and Luis Ruelas stood on the steps of the breathtaking Park Chateau Estate, wrapped in layers of tulle, roses, and promises. Since then, their journey has been anything but quiet. Between reality TV cameras, family dynamics, and public scrutiny, they've faced the kind of storms that either tear people apart or fuse them together like steel. For Teresa, the past year has been about discovering which kind of marriage she and Luis were building. And now, she's ready to say they've reached a whole new chapter. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star recently sat down for an intimate interview, her trademark hair swept high and her voice carrying that familiar mix of conviction and vulnerability. "Marriage isn't just about the wedding day," Teresa said, gesturing with the same hands that have slammed reunion tables and waved to adoring fans. "It's about what happens when no one's watching. Luis and we've been through our tests, and right now, I feel like we're finally in a place of peace." This place of peace hasn't come without effort. For Teresa, whose first marriage to Joe Giudice was a decades-long saga filled with both devotion and devastation, learning to build trust again was like learning a new language. Luis, too, came with his own past, one that tabloids have eagerly revisited, but together they made a pact early on they would talk through the hard stuff before it could turn into walls. The golden evening sun shimmered across the poolside of Teresa Giudice's New Jersey home, casting an amber glow on the woman who has weathered storms most wouldn't dare to stand in. Known to the world as a fiery star of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Teresa has lived her life, triumphs and tragedies, under the glaring public spotlight. Yet on this particular evening, the atmosphere felt different. The cameras weren't rolling. The sound wasn't of reality TV drama, but of genuine laughter floating through the air. Teresa was celebrating something that felt far more personal than any Bravo storyline could script. a brand new chapter in her marriage to Louis Roulas. A relationship in the public eye. From the moment Teresa and Louis's romance went public, the headlines wrote themselves. After years of navigating heartbreak, divorce, and rebuilding her life, Teresa found herself swept into a love story she hadn't been looking for but embraced fully. Their whirlwind courtship led to a lavish wedding in 2022, a ceremony dripping in pink roses, intricate details, and more than a few reality TV cameos. But even fairy tales can find themselves tested by reality. For Teresa and Louis, the early years of their marriage weren't without challenges. Between blending their families, facing scrutiny from fellow housewives, and the unavoidable whisperings of social media, the pair had to learn, fast, how to build something unshakable in the midst of constant noise. The turning point. This summer, Teresa revealed to Housewives Confidential that she and Louis had reached what she calls a relationship reset. The two decided to step back from the public glare as much as possible, focusing more on each other than on the narrative the outside world wanted to assign them. It hasn't been easy, Teresa admitted. Marriage is work, love is work, but when you both commit to showing up every day for each other, something shifts. The shift, she says, came after a particularly tough winter where disagreements felt louder than harmony. Instead of retreating into separate corners, they booked a month-long break in Costa Rica. No assistants, no glam squads, no press, just the two of them, surf lessons, sunrise hikes, and hours spent talking over long dinners by the sea. That trip reminded me why I fell in love with him, Teresa shared. When we stripped away all the chaos, it was just us. Rebuilding with intent. Returning home, they didn't just slip back into old habits. Teresa and Louis implemented small but meaningful changes: weekly no-phone date nights, family meetings with their kids, and a pact to avoid speaking about each other's past in moments of anger. Friends close to the couple noticed the difference immediately. They're softer with each other now, one insider revealed. Teresa still has her spark, and Louis still has his big personality, but they've learned to meet in the middle instead of competing for the spotlight. For Teresa, this new chapter is less about grand gestures and more about daily acts of love. Louis bringing her coffee in bed, Teresa making time to cheer for his work achievements, and the two sneaking away for early morning walks before the chaos of their blended household begins. The party that said it all. The milestone Teresa marked wasn't an anniversary or a renewal of vows. It was something quieter yet more profound. At their home, she hosted a gratitude dinner for close family and friends. The guest list was intimate, with only those who had supported the couple through their most turbulent times. The evening sparkled with candlelight, Italian music, and Teresa's signature homemade dishes passed around the long dining table. Guests noticed that Teresa and Louis barely left each other's side, not in an overly showy way, but in a comfortable, natural rhythm, sharing inside jokes, exchanging small glances, their hands finding each other in between bites of pasta. Midway through the night, Teresa stood to give a toast. "When I married Louis, I thought the wedding was the big beginning. But the truth is, marriage starts after the party ends. We've had highs, we've had lows, and we've grown through all of it. Tonight, I'm grateful not just for the love we share, but for the work we've put in to make it stronger." Louis, smiling warmly, responded with his own heartfelt words, thanking Teresa for choosing to love me every day, even on the days I made it hard to. The public reaction. When photos of the dinner began circulating on Instagram, thanks to a few guests who couldn't resist sharing, fans reacted quickly. The comment section filled with heart emojis, congratulations, and fans calling them an inspiration for making marriage work amid public scrutiny.